We're now 12 episodes deep into the season, which is really cool.
Yeah. Thank you all for sticking with us so far.
Thank you. And we're excited for the holidays and hopefully to take some time off for the holidays. So right now the plan is to have a few more guests and go through the week of Christmas and then take the month of January off, do some upgrades, some process improvements, all the boring stuff, and then come back in February with some new announcements and some new guests, and maybe the set might look a little different too.
Not a bad thing. So yeah, as you can tell, we keep experimenting with how we have the mic set up or the camera. We have different chairs this week. So it would be good to take some time and actually, use that month off to lock in how we can do things, so it's a little easier to just set up and go versus each week we're kind of tweaking and then 2 hours go by and we're like, oh, we still have to record a podcast. So
yeah, I always forget about how much actually goes into making a video podcast, and it's we're definitely continuing to learn every time we do it, so we're gonna keep getting better, and I'm excited for season 2. I think it'll be really fun, and I have some exciting things planned. Maybe some wearable things. This podcast is for support and commentary only, not professional advice. I am not a licensed clinician. This podcast might be triggering to some listeners as we have honest discussions about trauma, but we have lighter conversations about mental health and identity as well. And if you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources. And remember, you are not alone.
So besides all that, I know it's been, a month or so since our last update? It's been 6 episodes at least.
Yeah.
So
lots happened.
Yeah, a lot's happened. How are things going? I mean, I've been here all the time, but they don't know.
Well, it's been something. Basically, when I went down to Boston, as I clearly was in episode 6, I was a little strung out when I got back. It just kind of, I had a lot of realizations and a lot of the denial faded away. And I was in a very elevated fight or flight state for several weeks. And once I came back from Boston and I went back to work, I had a man kind of yell at me, and I basically had the worst physical symptoms I've ever had with PTSD, which is, at this time I was calling it non-epileptic seizures as well. We'll get to that. But basically, I started passing out, and then I went home. I got myself home, which I probably shouldn't have been driving. And then I took a nap. And then when you came home from work, I was like, hey, this happened. And when I told him, I completely lost all feeling in my body. You had to carry me upstairs. I couldn't use half of my face, and I literally could only use one hand, and that was it. And that full body paralysis lasted for a few hours, and then when I came out of it, my left leg didn't come back, and I basically went to bed that night not feeling my left leg at all. And I woke up the next morning and I still couldn't feel it. I still couldn't fully walk on it. So I went to work dragging my foot. And I had a headache really bad from non-epileptic seizure as well. And by the end of the day, I was getting really, really freaked out because I was like, this is not getting any better. And I was talking to you and talking to my mom, and I'm like,
it's not normal. Yeah.
I was like, did I have a stroke? Because the head feels a little funny and I literally can't get function back in my leg. So I ended up driving myself to the hospital, and I got admitted. They did an eval, like a physical eval, and they just were so wildly unconcerned. And I was just like, I can't move my leg. And they're like, well, there's like nothing pathologically wrong with you, so you can leave.
It's PTSD. Have fun.
Yeah, literally, like on my discharge paperwork, the only thing they wrote was PTSD. There were no notes about inability to use leg, facial twitching, like stuttering, like literally they didn't even acknowledge it, basically. And they were like, they didn't even want to do a CT scan, but I like made them do it. And then of course the CT scan came back normal. So that was really frustrating, because it's like, for me to not be able to use an entire limb for 24 hours and they can't see that on any scan is just really confusing to me. So we went down this process of getting a neurologist finally, and we met with the neurologist, and she said that she thinks I have functional neurological disorder. She does not think I had a stroke. She does not think I had a traumatic brain injury or anything. So basically, functional neurological disorder is an umbrella term for non-epileptic seizures, brain fog, cognitive issues, because I'll like forget how to like pronounce syllables and stuff sometimes when I'm triggered. My vision will go blurry, or my eyes will shut, or my eyes will go in different directions. That's just all covered in the FND umbrella. So that kind of gave us a little bit of hope that there was nothing like seriously damaged, because she's like, if you had a stroke, your face would be drooping for the rest of your life. And I was like, that checks out.
Yep. So the fact that these episodes happen, but then you recover from them and regain functionality, because after a few good nights of solid sleep, her leg came back. So it was one of the things that we've noticed, that you have to make sure we don't burn the candle at both ends too long, as we get a full night's rest, things like that helps minimize the symptoms.
Yeah.
But there's more you've worked on and done as well, right? So leading from that neurological consult, and then you did a MRI as well, just to follow up to validate that.
Yeah. They scheduled the MRI even though they didn't think they were going to find anything on it. Actually going in for the MRI was fucking terrifying. I am usually good in small spaces, but once they like put the hockey mask on and like put me in the machine, I felt so trapped. And I had a really bad PTSD episode, and I was like shaking in the machine and stuff. MRI results came back normal though.
Yep. So, which means everything's purely a neurological PTSD triggered event, which is wild to sit there and recognize that and be like, wow, the brain has that much control to just go haywire on you if it decides to press the wrong button at the wrong time.
Exactly. And basically what my doctor recommended was going up on my lamotrigine, which is a seizure class drug, anti-seizure class drug. So I basically have been doubling my dose on that, which has significantly helped. It's also helped with my depression. But the only other thing that they can do for FND is more therapy. So I got set up with an EMDR therapist, and I've already like started working with her, but I'm absolutely fucking terrified. Trigger warning. The following section contains discussions about sexual assault and trafficking. Listener discretion is advised. I'm already having a lot of realizations that I don't want to have.
But they'll be good in the long run.
Yeah.
It's hard now, but...
Yeah. And she's also like, she's someone who has absolutely no context about me or my life. It's not like my other therapist who I've been working with for 3 years, or like any of my family. So she's kind of the first person like hearing all of this and what happened from like with having no fucking context. And she was like, oh, you were trafficked. And I was like, but I wasn't. And she's like, you were part of the process. You were in the process. You were already being exploited, even if you weren't like shipped overseas. And I was like,
Great.
And that's not something I really want to accept or process, because I don't know. I'm terrified to kind of my brain won't let me understand what that means. So I've been like doing writing and reflecting and like writing down all of the things to kind of remind myself. And basically I'm trying to process on paper so that I can look at it, and then the more I look at it, the more it'll sink in.
Makes it real, putting it on paper.
Exactly, because like I don't fucking understand, or I don't really have any brain capacity to be able to process what happens beyond what would have happened, or like beyond where I left off in that experience. So when my new therapist said that she said I had been trafficked, I kind of came back out of denial and started trying to like write everything down and be like, this is all the things that would have made that make sense. Like, he pretended to be my boyfriend. He took advantage of my vulnerability after a breakup. He drugged and physically abused me. He conditioned me for limitless sexual exploitation. He created indebtedness because he helped me so much with my clothing brand. And then he used the brand as bait for other trans kids and put me in charge of befriending and recruiting them, and isolated me from friends and family and turned me against them, and took over my medical decisions and tried to stop me from going to the hospital. So like on paper, it's like, duh. You know what I mean? But like in my head, I'm like still like, no, I must be like misinterpreting this somehow. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot. And I wrote that last night, and I've been pretty depressed today. I was even trying to like watch some documentaries last night about sex trafficking and how that works in America, because like I never really saw that. So I'm trying to wrap my head around what could have been, and like why, or at least, and then also understand that like by having these realizations and allowing myself to process them and process these truths, that doesn't mean that they're going to come back. That doesn't mean that I'm not safe right now. And I'm trying to remember that a lot. The other thing that my therapist told me to try that has been really working is the ice pack trick.
So when you're in a spot where you're feeling triggered, but you can't just go comatose and just lay in bed. That's one part where it's like, it's fine, you're at home, whatever. But if you're at work and you're dealing with an unruly customer, because you're in a customer service facing job, and someone just comes in and it's God bless the coupon Nazis, right? They sit there, they know how the coupon works and ins and outs and everything, and you got to deal with it. And look at her face. She's already going, get me out of here. So, and you're dealing with someone who they decide to start raising your voice, which we've talked about previously, like when, for the snow shoveling incident where I yelled at you at the side of the road because the plow was coming, and you went straight to that catatonic state. So how do you deal with that now using this ice pack in a customer service spot where someone's all of a sudden yelling at you and you're not expecting it?
Yeah, I mean, the ice pack is supposed to reset your automatic nervous system, because what my therapist said is that your body can't process physical panic symptoms like hyperventilation. For me, it's a pass out urge. Like I immediately start trying to pass out when I get stressed because of what happened to me, and I don't want that to happen again. So if you hold the ice pack, she said, on your face, your chest, and your wrists, or if you don't have an ice pack, you can run your wrists under cold water. She says it will pull your brain out of that and reset. And honestly, it's really fucking worked. Like I don't fucking care if people think I'm weird. I literally am fucking holding the ice pack while I'm ringing customers out at the register. So when like some bitch decides to like intimidate me over a fucking $2, like a fucking $2 coupon. It's like, I'm holding this and I'm still grounded. My brain will go like to another fucking planet, but then I'm still physically there. But this is so fucking grounding. So like, please try it. If you have any of these symptoms, please try it. And then you've been like, when I'm having my shutdown, episodes at night, you're like, I'll grab an ice pack, babe. And then you'll go down and grab me an ice pack. And it actually helps.
And it's definitely worked. You've come at it a lot quicker. So it's definitely nice. Especially when you're like, I need to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, it's an ice pack or I have to carry her. Ice pack is a lot lighter. And usually it's at the end of the day. And I'm on my feet all day for my job. So it's like, I've done a 10-hour shift. I don't want to have to carry anybody anywhere. I will do it if I need to, but it's
firemen
handy.
Carry this
it's
sack
handy.
of potatoes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's been going on. And yeah.
That's what we've been working on together and figuring things out, and obviously recruiting new members to the team with the new therapist and the new style of therapy with the EMDR and doing different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just keep throwing paint at the wall and see what sticks, and then throw another bucket when that one's dry. So we keep doing.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know much about EMDR, to be really honest. So I'm a little terrified that it's already making me realize things, and I haven't really gotten into like the deep parts of it yet. But it for people who don't know, EMDR is basically like a deep form of therapy where you are talking through your trauma while like tapping or like holding buzzers or like looking at like red lights or whatever, and it's supposed to help your brain kind of retrain how it reacts to those memories, I guess. I'll let you know. I guess. But honestly, like, I'm fucking desperate for anything to work at this point, because like it's so hard to work a job and be a normal person with like CPTSD and functional neurological disorder, because I'm literally like passing out whenever like my stress level gets like a little bit above the ground. So, but at least the med change has really helped so far, and this new therapist has already been really helping me a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be depressed for a while, but like hopefully that means I'm going to be a better person soon.
And we keep working on it. We keep trying. Keep iterating.
So yeah, so we are almost done with the first season of this podcast, which is crazy. We'll have, I think, 16 or 17 episodes since August. Yep. That's crazy. But
yeah, so we're looking at about 5 more left for this season, and then we'll go on a holiday break, and that'll be nice.
Yeah. And we have some really fun guests coming up too, so
looking forward to that.
Yeah. Just a reminder that if you need any help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources. And just remember also that you are not alone. And we will see you next Tuesday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I just want to say thank you, and I love you so much.
I love you too, honey. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one, guys.
Cheers, mate. I don't know. Okay, cool.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are not alone. And if you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources.